My GTA chums, the Vapid Retinue MK2 is on discount this week, 850 to 1.1 million. Great little car. And here is the original, the Vapid Retinue, which looks better but doesn't perform nearly as good as this as a classic sports car. It's a great rally car. It's a Ford Fiesta, not Fiesta, Escort Mark II. Used to win rallies with a 1.6 injection, not get higher. Cosworth engine, that's the one. Alright, so bumpers. We should probably jiggle around and do something new, something fresh perhaps. That looks quite nice, I like that. That looks similar to something else. That looks too chub, so that is probably the ideal racing splitter. Should probably change the livery first, but let's just have a look at what the bumpers offer. Alright, it's a bumper remove really, that's basically why I've done that. So we're going to stick with that. So we've got to bumpers, engines upgraded, and let's just have a look at the liveries. And we need to get rid of the Chapel Rally. I did this in brown originally, but I didn't like it that much in the end. Jakey's Lager. I mean, it suits a rally build. This is what I originally had on the Stripe, because I won it as a prize, not a prize ride, as a podium vehicle a long time ago. Just a little stripe down there. We could do something with that, but I think it's a bit limiting with the Germanic kind of red and black. Queefstat. There are some good liveries, but they're going to limit our customization, I think. So we're going to go with none, but the purple looks great on it. I'm a bit loath to get rid of that, but let's have a look at the so we've not done the fenders yet. Let's have a look at those. We've got the street arches on. Secondary is horrible. Carbon is similar. I think we might have the best one. The rally arches are good, which is funny because that was a kind of a rally build. Maybe we should put the rally arches on. I mean, it looks pretty chub. It was a rally car, but I prefer the street arches. I'm going to put the rally arches on just to give it some definition because we're not going for a livery grille. Right, secondary housing. So, okay, it's colouring up the outside there, you can see that. Carbon housing. We're going to go with the secondary still. And we're going to see what we can do with the secondary colour. Headlights. We can put some tape on. Oh, we can put two different types of tape. Well, let's put that horizontal tape just for the crack. That cost 900 quid. No way. To peel the tape off and put it on. Performance hood. And no hood. Oh, no bonnet. Alright, I like the dual vented. That is probably a bit too busy for me. And that performance hood is good, but I think we're going to go dual vented for this build. Livery we've done. What was the plate? Fun time, yeah, that's the correct one. Respray. I'm going to go for a metallic this time. Oh, I just picked metallic black. Keyboard mistake. We're not going to pick metallic black, I don't think. Bluish silver looks good. That looks surprisingly good with that intercooler stuck out. It kind of blends in, but I don't think we're going to do that. I want something bright. Red looks good, like the lava red. That's just a red and a yellow, isn't it? But it looks good, lava red. I think we need something jump out. Actually, what's the other red? Garnet red, sunset red, candy red. That's the one. I think that's the one. Candy red. That looks nice. It's got that element of pinkishness to the red. I mean, all these look good. Racing blue is a classic. You know, all these look great. Really do. But I'm going to stick with that. Actually, I like racing blue a bit better now, but I'm going to stick with it. Secondary colour. These are the lights. I think white is good, but let's just have a little look at. Is there anything that could contrast that red somehow? Not brown. We're not going brown again on this car. Ever. I mean, the blue does, but green would, but green would be wrong. Anything surprising like a purple? An orange? No. I think I'm lost for inspiration. I think blue is a bluish silver, but essentially we're going back to the white, aren't we? Okay, let's stick with the white because I think the white and the candy look good together. Crew emblem goes on the door. Roll cage. So this is a rally build with the roll cage in. I don't think I would get rid of it, probably. Maybe I'll go for a half cage. There it is without a roll cage at all. Half cage, I think, because it's like a chav build. kind of roof. The sunstrip does look good on this car because it's what they came with in the 80s. They never had a racing scoop on them, and I don't think I want to put one on there. I don't know why it's there, but I mean it kind of looks alright, but it's not right, is it? Maybe we could get rid of the sunstrip just to give a bit of a change, give it more of a non-classic look, a bit more of a modern build. Spoiler, primary ducktail is the best. We can go for none, but we want the traction. We need the traction as much as we can get, really. This spoiler is pretty decent, I like that. The Vapid Racing wing. Just a basic spoiler is good as well. But I'm going to stick with a duck wing because I just like it. I can't find a reason. You can get rid of the wheel camber as well, so if you don't like the look of it, but you will lose out on performance. But you will have a more controllable car as well in a way. Wheels, right. So wheel type, we've got off-road rims because it's an off-road build. There's no reason to change that. You can see the brake calipers through the Rally Master. There's nothing else, I don't think. We're going to pick in that. Oh, actually, we could put like wheel colour. We could change the wheel colour to being an alloy. Gold looks good. We've not got access to gold, have we? Because we're not in our auto shop, unfortunately. Could put the white on. That wouldn't look out of place. There it is, frost white. Definitely, because then we've got those white accents all around. Tyres, I'm going to put a tyre design on it. Because it needs, I think it needs, could do with something really. Tyre smoke is red, ideal. Windows, it's a classic car. I'd go with light smoke as the most. Wouldn't go for limo. It's still having a nod towards rally, and that is it. We've produced it. Great car, and it's raining, which is ideal for this car. Why is it raining? Don't know. It wasn't raining a minute ago. Hope it's a shower. I don't think it is. Now, this is the 5th, I think, in the Sports Classics class, but that's about, according to Bruffy, 5 seconds behind the Turismo Classic HSW, so you're not going to beat the HSW in it, basically. But if it's a standard Turismo Classic, you're fractions of a second behind, so it is competitive in racing if you're racing on PC or old gen, as in no HSW suckers. It's got a lot of slip on the corners, even though it's raining. I think those rally wheels are helping with the, well, they should help with the grip a little bit. I think it's more from the bump perspective when you're doing rallies. I like just driving it around on dirt tracks. That was a bit of a bump. But let's get around this corner and see how she does. Very nice, very nice. It's not too much understeer. It's not as bad as I remember it, but I am perhaps nursing it a little bit. It's very, actually it's not understeer, it's a bit oversteery, isn't it? I think it's more a kind of slip on the wheels that's the problem. Well, it's not a massive problem because I think it's still a good car to drive. You just notice more with the standard Retinue that it grips up a bit more, less slip. So that's kind of spoils it for me a little bit. But this is a lot faster than the standard Retinue. And the sun's coming out. It's not going to dry these roads out though, is it? It's quick. Look at that, for a little car, you could even build it as a sleeper, potentially. And who would expect this car to go that quick? It's decent. Let's have a look at the internals. It's all got electronic dials, not electronic dials, analog dials. Very nice. Could do with being a little bit better, but it does look like what you'd expect with a Ford Escort of the 80s, I think it was, yeah. This was a rally winner as well. It's a pedigree car, so for that reason alone you need to buy it. If you're a fan of rally cars. Let's turn the lights off. Look at the lights go off on the dashboard. How good is that? Full beam. Awesome, awesome. I like the details in these little cars. So I recommend it for $1 million or $8. I mean, it's most likely $1 million if you've not got a trade discount. It's quite expensive, really, if you're not into your racing or your classic cars, as in the Escort. But I don't know. I think it looks great. I think it drives great as well. So like $1 million, that's not too bad, is it? But I suppose for 1.6 million, 600 grand more, you've got the 10F, which is a similar kind of, well, it's a slippy car. This is rear-wheel drive, just like the 10F, I think. Or is that 10F all-wheel? Can't remember. Just reviewed it, I should know that. But yeah, you can't really compare the two. 10F's very much faster, but what do I even compare it to? It's quite. What I mean is, it's quite expensive for what you're getting. But I like it. If you got the 880 grand trade price, I'd say it's worth it, because that's half the price of the 10F, isn't it? I'm comparing everything to the 10F today, because I've just paid for the 10F wide body, reviewed that. So check out the review for that. But yeah, great car, well recommended. But only if you can afford it. If you have bought everything else that you need to buy and just want a hobbyist kind of car, something that's perhaps going to win you the odd sports classics race. If you're into racing, that is. If you're not into racing, no. Anyway, I've repeated myself a bit there. So if you found it useful, like, subscribe, give me your thoughts on the Escort, and thank you very much for tuning in. What a great looking car.